Hello, my name is Jackie Karol, the voice of Billiards, here with Sneaky Pete Mafia TV, and introducing you to Stephen, the owner of Wheat State Billiards Custom Cues, who has just come out with a brand new carbon fiber shaft that really can compete with the big dogs. Welcome, Stephen.
Thank you for having me. Nice to see you.
Tell us about yourself, how you got started, what made you get into making carbon fiber shafts.
It really all started because I'm a gear nerd. I mean, I started off just doing repair work for people, for myself a lot. I mean,
Okay.
I think I was my first 50 customers. I didn't make any money off of myself, but that's kind of how it all started. And then I started building wood shafts for people.
Oh.
And that's when I really got into carbon fiber shafts. They'd been out for a while, but they were new to me, and I just saw a big hole in the market. I shot with a lot of the carbon fiber shafts, and I felt like they're all so different, but yet so similar. And I think you can attest to that. I mean, you've probably shot with a handful of them, and like they all have a different hit, but they all are really good in their own way.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And it was like, in my opinion, most of the major companies out there, I felt like they were doing one of two things. They were either sacrificing feel to get super, super low deflection, or they were sacrificing that super, super low deflection in order to make a shaft that still feels good. And I thought to myself, why don't I build something that doesn't make that compromise? And here we are.
That's awesome. You have a really technical background too. What was it that you did before this?
I went to school for industrial automation machine maintenance. So basically I was a maintenance electrician, maintenance mechanic at a very large aircraft company for a few years. And then I transitioned to another large company as a maintenance technician rather, sorry. Yeah, basically just fixing all sorts of various equipment, machines, troubleshooting problems, building things, fixing things. And I'm actually working on my engineering degree that relates to the field that I study, which is mechatronics, which is it's kind of a combination engineering degree of mechanical, electrical, and robotics. So that's kind of what I'm working on now. But yeah, I kind of have a background in, I guess, tinkering.
Well, I know you're super motivated and your customer service is like really amazing and excellent. I can tell that you really do care and you put like everything into what you're doing and making sure that people are happy. And it sounds like you've had a ton of success so far. You were mentioning to me when I talked to you before that you were at a trade show and different people could try out your cue. Was that the first time that you released it? Was that the trade show?
The way that it started with the carbon fiber shafts, in terms of, let's skip all the research and development. I've got a handful of shafts, ready to go. I don't know if they're any good, because I suck at pool, so I have no idea if they're any good.
You don't suck.
I reach out to some buddies of mine who are very good. I'm not going to name any names, but some very high level players in the game that most people are going to know, some real big names.
Sure.
And I sent a couple of my prototypes actually to the Derby City Classic last year. And with how crazy it was, I wasn't able to get a ton of feedback on that just because of how busy the event was. But I actually sent my personal shaft that I finished for myself to the WSPA last year in Wisconsin with Nate Mendeham, who runs the Cue It Up Billiards podcast. And yeah, he had a booth set up there with my shaft, the Jacoby Black, I believe, the OB Fusion, and a few of the other, I think probably the McDermott Defy, and I think a few other various carbon fiber shafts. And And yeah, from what I was told, I think he said during the course of the week, about 800 people came up and tried the shafts, and over 600 of them preferred mine. So that was
Wow.
it was crazy. Like,
Super impressive. And so he had them all side by side even, huh? Just all
yeah,
at the same booth. That's an
yeah.
awesome test. Yeah,
So
I mean, I love mine.
shout out to Menham. He has done so much for me, and in terms of helping me, he's got a big audience, a big following, and he's a great guy. So thank you, Nate.
That's awesome. So you also offer like just different customizations that it makes you stand out as far as, would you want to talk a little bit about that, about the joints and the tips and the different things that you offer, engraving?
Sure. Yeah. One of the things that make mine stand out, aside from playability, first and foremost, that's the goal, right? I mean, making the best playable shaft out there.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it looks bad, but let's just not make it look bad and also play really good. So
Yeah.
I do something unique. I offer the options are almost endless, really. I mean, pretty much every one that I build for a customer is a one of one. You know what I mean? Because I build every single one by hand for your exact cue. So no one else in the world is going to have the exact same shaft that you have, because I offer 3 different ferrule colors, white, black, or clear. And that's just on the play shafts. On the break shafts, you can get brown, black, or clear, or even G10, which is kind of a green color. In fact, looks like that.
Oh,
It's kind of like
cool.
a lime green color.
Cool. I haven't seen that before.
And then, any tip you want. I have like about 10 different colors for different tip pads, if people want tip pads between the ferrule and the tip. And then for the collar work, I can either do black or clear, which I did a clear one on yours, which is really, really unique. And I think it looks really cool. I hope you like it.
I do. I really like it. It's really neat how you can see,
Like
you can
the
see it on there.
actually, yeah.
Can you kind of see it?
Oh, I can definitely see it.
With the light.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
hard
so like, I don't know if it shows up, how well it shows up here, but especially if there's light behind it, you can see how
yeah,
it shows the joint, which is really neat. I love it. It matches the clear.
Absolutely.
Clear up here. It's hard to see on the Zoom, but
yeah, it is. And then, yeah, like you mentioned before, I laser engrave every single one, with my, brand and the name of the shaft, which the play shafts I call the Onyx, the Wheat State Onyx. And my break shafts are the Wheat State Supernova. So.
And you make them in all sizes, all different millimeters, like, whereas some of the other, other ones, they only offer 1 or 2 options too, right?
Yeah, well, right now I'm doing either 11.75 millimeter, a 12.4, or a 12.8/12.9 for the brake shafts, and jump shafts as well. But I do have, sorry, my dog is going crazy down here. I'm neglecting her.
It's okay.
Anyways, I do actually have I have an order going right now with a company that I've been working closely with for the past few months, to get my very own blanks made. So right now, any custom cue maker on the planet, even most of the big guys, what happens is they'll start off and they'll buy, a carbon fiber blank that's just a hollow tube. It's already pre-tapered, essentially.
Okay.
You build it and fill it with, your proprietary materials or whatever, however you are going to build it on the inside. And I'm not going to tell you how I do it.
Sure.
That is my secret.
It's a secret, yeah.
It took me a ton of time, a ton of trial, and a ton of error. So I can't give that away, at least not for anything less than like $1 million. We'll talk later. But so basically, that's what most, that's how it all starts. You start with a carbon fiber blank, and then, you go from there. But here pretty soon, I spent the last month or two, I've been very happy with my blanks so far, and all of my customers have been as well. But I think that I came up with a better design So I'm having this company that I've been working closely with for a while now. I've been spending the last month or two drawing up a design. So before long, me and one other guy are going to be the only two people on the planet that have these specific blanks that I came up with a design for. Me and him work closely on. So that's going to be really exciting because I think the taper that I came up with and just the different options I'll be able to do with it is going to be really, really good. And I think people are going to love it.
Wow, that is exciting. And you've gotten a lot of great feedback also. Do you have any of those quotes like with you that you could read? Some of them were great. Like
So a lot of the quotes they really are good, and that is such a big part of why I do it. I mean, every time I mail out a shaft, I put a note in there and I just thank them for the order, and I tell them, hey, please just, let me know what you think of the shaft, good, bad, or indifferent. I want to know because I'm a perfectionist. If there's anything wrong with it, I'm going to make another prototype,
right.
that's just how I am.
So educate us on like the different options for carbon fiber. Like what are the different ways that they are made, and like what are some of the techniques or the the possibilities of what they could be maybe filled with, or just any.
Yeah, I don't really want to get a bounty on my head by giving away some of the other guys' secrets. I'm certainly not giving away mine, but
Sure.
Most of them are filled with foam, various types of foams, but there's obviously other things inside of there. A lot of some companies use a wood core as well as foam.
It's kind of a hard question to answer, sort of. Or
well, we'll put it this way. I can tell you that mine, after tons and tons of trial and error and research and development and everything else, mine have actually 8 different things inside of the shafts at various points inside of the shaft, specifically at those points to give it the exact hit and feel that I was looking for. So
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, it speaks volumes to people that the feedback that you've gotten already, and from such a huge range of players too, and a lot of top players. It sounds like also,
Yeah, Roddy Morrishoot was one.
Cool. That's impressive. That's super impressive. Yeah. And do you have some of those comments were just so like great?
Yeah, I was wanting to get back to that. So long story short, I don't want to get into all the comments because
sure
there's so many of them. But
do you post them anywhere? Like, I mean, is there some place that do you have a blog or anything that you?
No, maybe I should because that
or
could
a Facebook page maybe.
That you know what? Maybe I could create like a fan page for stuff like that. But right now it's just in some group chats that I have created for certain customers, because I still am, relatively new to the game. I'm not a real big name yet. So of course there's going to be certain people out there that, they don't want to quite pull the trigger, on something until they get a chance to try it out, which I totally understand. So in those circumstances, what I've done is, I've just made a group chat, in Facebook Messenger with just 5 or 10 random customers, that I've met throughout the country, no one that I've met personally. Mm-hmm. And last week, there was a pretty funny exchange. There was a guy that was debating on whether or not he should buy one of my shafts. So I told him, hey, buddy, I'll create this group chat, so you can get some feedback from other people. And everyone was going crazy in there, and it was so funny. Long story short, he bought one. In fact, I think he bought 2. But there was one comment that was really funny. So one of the big things that they were all talking about was just the fact that there's no other carbon fiber shaft out there that can beat mine for the price. You just simply cannot beat what I'm doing for the price. Not only that, the customer service, you can't beat it. And that's what one guy was mentioning. And mm-hmm. Another guy said that he couldn't agree more. The feel, the sound, and the action you can get out of the shaft is amazing. it's like knowing that you have the biggest dick in the room and everybody else knows it too.
That's
Now,
great.
I don't know if I built my shaft as good as I did his because I still feel average.
That's awesome. So are there, so what is, you mentioned, so what's the price point that you have these at right now?
So right now I'm selling them $360 shipped or $370 rather if they want a tip upgrade from what I'm putting on there now. But I think I might bump that up soon, just a little bit. You know, I don't think I'm ever going to go above 400. I might just make it a flat 375 because I am in some talks right now with some tip companies that that are wanting to potentially sponsor me in terms of, you know, me putting their tips on all of my shafts. And with shipping costs having gone up both ways, you know, I'm really almost not paying myself hardly anything for labor, you know. And a lot of the comments I get from these guys is, if you charge $600, I'd still buy it over anything else on the market. And that speaks that speaks volumes to me. You know, that just makes me feel really proud. So, but no, I'm not going to charge 600. I think I might go to like a flat rate, 375 shipped anywhere, you know, with the tips that I'm, and I can't really mention the name of the company yet because we haven't finalized the details, but so far I've been playing with the tip that I'm thinking about using the company for, and the tips are fantastic. They may be the best tips I've ever used. So awesome. Exciting things coming.
Yeah, that's great. Very cool. So do you recommend any particular types of test shots that you recommend?
In terms of what, like testing deflection or just you know, there's some standard ones. You take two balls, center diamond, you know, well, three balls rather.
Yeah.
Separate them just the tiniest little bit, pull the middle one back out. Cue ball, you know, about 2 diamonds up or whatever, just as long as it's dead center. And then you aim dead center between those two balls with center English, or just center ball. And then once you have that lined up, you literally just use parallel English. So, you know, you shift the entire cue, you know, the tip and the butt, left or right, whichever you're more comfortable with. And then you shoot. And that, you know, you need to do it at kind of medium firm speed, or you're going to get squirt, or you're going to get a masse rather. So,
right. That's a great test for deflection for sure.
Mine are very, very low deflection, but I think that what I have achieved is not only one of the lowest, if not the lowest deflection shaft out there, but I think it's by far the best feeling shaft out there. And I think that's really important to a lot of people. It's important to myself. And that's one thing I noticed, like I said earlier, with some of the carbon fiber shafts that I shot with before I started building my own, you know, they shoot great. You know, some of them shot fantastic, you know, super low deflection, but I just felt like it was just, they didn't feel great, you know, they just didn't have that really good feel and that feedback that you really get, you know, from a traditional wood shaft, you know, especially when you're really stroking the ball and you get that feedback all the way in your grip hand, you know.
Right. The way it resonates really does make a big difference.
Absolutely. It really does. Yeah. And I think that's a big thing to a lot of players. And like I said, some of the carbon fiber shafts out there, I think they lose that.
Yeah, I agree. And you're in Kansas City, correct? Is that?
No, not Kansas City. I'm in Butler County, Kansas. What is it?
You said there was like a sound test. How about I'm gonna see what they sound like.
Hey, don't tell me which is which. I'm gonna turn around. I'll tell you.
Okay. I'm going to
do the drop test.
Yeah, the drop test. Here's Q1.
Yeah, that's not mine.
and you're right, and this is yours. That's interesting how different they can be.
Like one sounds very hollow, one sounds not hollow.
Yeah.
And what's thing is that mine is no more, I guess, full than the other one. It's just, the materials that I put inside of mine, add to that sound and that feel, which is very, very important. Like I said, from the very beginning, when I first started this, I had a goal in mind. I knew what I wanted to accomplish in terms of, obviously, deflection is what I was going for, just like everyone else. You want low deflection,
Mm-hmm.
as low a deflection as you can get. But I also wanted to build something that felt fantastic, sounded fantastic, and also played great. And like you said, resonates really well in your hand. And let me tell you, that was not easy, not at all.
I bet.
To get to, but I really do feel that I've gotten there with my current design. But I can tell you, it is disheartening building probably a dozen and a half prototypes, and most of them are just sitting over there in the trash pile now.
Wow, that's great though. You've done your research and had tons of people test it, and I'm really impressed with mine. I'm super excited about playing with it. I have a big match coming up, live stream match here in a couple weeks, and I'm going to use it. I'm super excited. I'm excited it fits on my my Judd Fuller cue, which I love. It has a lot of sentimental value also, and it's really great. So what's the name of your website so people could find you?
Well, I don't currently have a website right now. I'm just doing the Facebook thing, which is you just find me at Wheat State Custom Cue and Repair, and here's the logo.
Perfect.
On these two beautiful T-shirts. You can also get these. I'm selling these. I've got a ton of them, ready to go. So
perfect. That's great. Anything else that you wanted to add?
Well, I want to ask, what do you think of yours since I booked for yours? And for two, I'm really glad. I'm happy that I got your Judd back in service. So I'm glad I was able to get that going for you.
Me too. It means a lot to me. He passed away, and he was such an amazing guy and an amazing cue maker. And it's really super exciting to play with that again. I really do like mine a lot. Like I really do. It's really a solid hit, and you get a ton of action. I'm super impressed with it, and I'm looking forward to playing with it even more. So I'm totally psyched, and I'm excited for you too.
Well, thank you. Exciting. I'm scared. I'm actually scared. I mean, I'm excited. It's, it's all good. It's one of those things where I always wanted this to happen. And, once I got started with this venture, I just me being me, I'm a perfectionist, and there are nights where I won't be able to sleep because I can't shut my brain off thinking about these things right here and building these things, and just getting them as perfect as I can for the customers, because that means everything. Word of mouth can make or break a small company. And, I think my customer service is top notch, and my product speaks for itself. But yeah, it's just it's been a wild ride so far, and I never expected. Well, how it happened. I think 2 or 3 batches ago, because I build them in batches now, and 2 or 3 batches ago, I finished the batch, and it was a long, tiring week of 18-hour days, five days in a row to get this batch finished. And the only reason I did that is because I gave these customers a timeline, and this is right when this COVID-19 outbreak hit. So all of a sudden, all of my orders that I had placed to get these customers their, all the parts that I needed to build these shafts for these customers, they're just
right
weeks longer than expected. So I finally get everything in, and I think people understand or understood what was going on, but still, me being me, I'm like, I'm going to do my best to get you guys these shafts as fast as I can, without sacrificing any sort of quality. So a lot of long nights that week. And the night that I finally finished them all, I took some really cool photos of them, and I posted them to my page, with a little post, explaining, what happened, and and thanking the customers, for being patient, 'cause I really appreciate that. And I passed out. I posted that, and I immediately put my phone down and went to bed. This was like 6 p.m. I was so exhausted. And I think I woke up at like 7 in the morning the next day. I woke up to over 70 messages on my business page, like people wanting to buy shafts, and then all of a sudden Garrett's hitting me up and all these other people, these big names, and that I never thought they would know who I was, and it's just like literally overnight, it blew up, and it's taken off like crazy, and I'm excited, but that's why I say I'm scared too, because it's like I went to bed one night normal and I woke up and I don't have time to play pool anymore.
Right. That's a good problem to have.
Yeah. As of this batch, I have sold shafts to people that have owned every single carbon fiber shaft out there in terms of the major manufacturers. So now, what I mean by that is I've had people switch from every single carbon fiber shaft out there to mine now. The last one.
So yeah, people have literally gotten rid of their old carbon fiber shaft and are replacing it with yours, which is super amazing. And these companies, a lot of them are really big companies too.
Yeah.
It sounds like all your hard work is paying off, and congratulations on that. Like you deserve it. Good person, and you're really dedicated, and I can tell. And I love mine, so very, very excited for you.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
My name is Jackie Karol with Sneaky Pete Mafia TV. Thank you, Stephen, and best of luck to you, and talk to you next time.
Thanks.